people. It's cold outside. And so, that being said, I have my totally red blanket along with my lion's mane. And it's got like verses on it. So it's like my cape, because the Lord's word is my armor. Anywho, so the reason why I am bothering you today is because I mentioned this in my last vlog, how I was trying to get a little like come feed my hens and roosters with me and meet my flock, but the video that I was making got deleted right before I was ready to upload it, so I'm just re-recording it now. I tried to mess with it, but it's so much easier to just go ahead and redo it. So sorry, Hannah's just whining. She's fine though. Also, Hannah's one of our dogs. But yeah, I will just go ahead and get right into it, and you can come meet my flock with me. So just lose the blanket because I don't want it to get muddy over there. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and explain what I feed them exactly. These are like 16% layer pellets, so they have a lot of really good minerals and things like that for the hens for laying eggs. So I'll usually go ahead and scoop that up about that much. And the reason why I only do about this much is because I do fill the rest of it with cracked corn. Cracked corn is in here, and surprise! Look at that, we don't have much left, but that's okay because we go to the store. So anyway, I'll just use what is in there to fill the rest of the bucket. Waterfalls. Okay, so before I mix that up, I like to take a little bit of this product I'm going to show you in a sec. So it is this stuff right here. We found it at Tractor Supply, and it's called Kickin' Chicken, and it is a oil that is like full of omega-3 fatty acids and things like that that are essential, and it is primarily for molting. So a couple of my hens and roosters are different ages. So one of my youngest flocks, or younger flocks, had a pretty rough molt during this past fall. So I used this, and it helped them tremendously. I mean, this isn't sponsored or anything, but it's just a really good product, and it helped them a lot. Their feathers grew in really fast, and it helped improve their mood. So even though they're not molting right now, I still like to put it in there because it is Indiana here, so it can get kind of cold, and I think having these omega fatty acids really help with their feathers. So I'll go ahead and do some of it like that, not too much, and then we mix it up like this. Just start mixing, or I'll just do my hands too and kind of mix it like that as well. Okay. Alright, so I usually put more cracked corn, but again, you saw that we didn't have much, so this is what we have for now. My hens and roosters did have their breakfast this morning. We usually feed them about twice a day, again, especially in the colder months. So they had their breakfast, and then now they're having their dinner. Yes, so as you see, we have two escapees. So normally what I will do is I'll put a tiny bit of food down to distract these guys from coming over the fence when I open the door, because I open it and they run on through. Alright, so I normally go ahead and just feed them in different piles like this. That way they're not all crowded amongst each other. And they can kind of disperse somewhat and enjoy their dinner. Alright, so this lovely little lady right here, I know her head isn't kind of in rough shape. Again, that's why I give them that Kickin' Chicken stuff, because her feathers are growing back in. Her wing feathers look really good because they were kind of bald too. So she is growing her feathers back in, so I know she looks a little rough. But this is Roslyn. So Roslyn is the mother of Rosita. That is Rosita. And she is one of my youngest. She is very sweet as well. And then this big boy right here, his name is Rex. I call him Rex Maximus. He is a very good rooster. He is super sweet, and he takes really good care of these ladies. So right here is Gylfie. Her feathers are growing back in as well, sort of like Rosalind's, because they were kind of bare too, but they are definitely getting there, much better. And she looks like an owl. So the reasoning for the name Gylfie, if you have ever seen the movie or read the books from the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, I loved that franchise as a kid. So Gylfie is one of the names of the characters, one of the owls. So because Gylfie looks like an owl, especially when she's roosting, when she's sleeping, and you come in the barn at night, she just looks like a barn owl. So I named her after that character. So Gylfie is an Easter egger, and so is her sister Mocha. You can tell her name is Mocha because she is brown. Also, she did not jump because I touched her. She jumped because she got pecked by Naughty over here. Her name isn't Naughty, but anyway. Yeah, so Mocha is a sweetheart. She is my smallest. She's very little and she looks like a pheasant. That's my Momi. I call her Momi sometimes, but she is an absolute sweetheart. And by the way, the chickadees hang out because they get some of the corn off the ground too. Oh my gosh, bro. I see you. Alright, so this is Sylvie, and again, please excuse the dogs barking. They're barking at some other dogs, but this is Sylvie. She is an Easter egger as well, and she is sassy, okay? She is very loving, but she's kind of sassy, and she has a big personality. So that is Sylvie. Next up, we have Sylvie and Rex's daughter, Freda. Freda is the same age as Rosita, and she is named Freda as in F-R-E-T-T-A because she is kind of my fretter, like she frets. I felt like naming her Fret or Worry is just rude. So, I mean, if you have a hen named Fret or Worry, that's no offense, but for me, I just think it might have been rude to name this lady Fret. So I thought, well, what if I cutesified it a little bit? So her name is indeed Fretta. This here is Lenore. So if you know that name, it is from Edgar Allan Poe's poem The Raven. I love that poem and I love Edgar Allan Poe. So for obvious reasons, because she looks like a raven, her name is Lenore. Hi, buddy, do you see them? Do you see them? Yeah, you see them, don't ya? Are they having their dinner? Who's a good boy? You are, you're a good boy. Okay, so this beauty right here, her name is the Dino, or the dinosaur. And she's named that just because she, as a chick, kind of looked like a baby dinosaur. She is one of my older hens. She's not old. She hatched around 2020, but she is older than some of the others here. So that is her, and she is very sweet, very fluffy, and she makes the prettiest cooing sounds. Next to the dinosaur is her sister, and her sister's name is Chainsaw. I know what you're thinking. Why on earth did you name your hen Chainsaw? So the reasoning for that is because when she was a baby chick, she used to dig her wood chips because we had them in a pen where there were a bunch of wood chips, and the way that she would dig them, she would shred them, and they'd go flying in the air, and it looked like someone had taken a whole like hacksaw and started hacking up a tree. So instead of calling her Hacksaw, we just named her Chainsaw. But yeah, that is why her name is Chainsaw. And so she's like a great digger. Like in the summer and stuff, she'll dig the dirt and just she's my little digger. Okay, so these ladies right here are my Dominiques. Oh, by the way, Chainsaw the dinosaur, their breed, they're Wyandottes, silver lace Wyandottes. So these are my Dominiques. So they are a little bit different, as you can see that. Dominique and then Wyandottes. Oh, hi Rosie. Hi Rosalind. Alright, so this baby right here, her name is Timid, kind of like Freda. She is very shy. She kind of runs away a lot. Sometimes when I try to pet her, she's a little more on the shy side. So her name is Timid, but she is sweet. This is my lady, Nostalgia. Now, not nostalgia like N-O-S-T, but nest like a bird's nest with an E. The reason for that is because when she was a baby chick, I was holding her and I just got like really nostalgic holding her because we used to raise chicks when I was little, and so it just reminded me of when I was little and I got all nostalgic holding my baby chick. So then I thought it'd be funny if I put that little spin on it and made it more bird-ish by saying Nestalgia, so her name is Nestalgia. This here is Oreo, my little Oreo cookie. Obviously because she is the color of an Oreo. They all are, but she just seemed to fit that whole name better. So Oreo is her name, Oreo Cookie. And right here we have my angel. This is Dami. She loves to be loved on and held. She is an absolute sweetheart. So Dami and Oreo Cookie would sometimes get in fights over who would get to be in my lap when they were smaller. So I would have one on my lap and the other would come up and start kind of not beating up, but sort of pecking, sort of roughing up the other to try to get in my lap instead. So she is a sweetie, aren't you, my girl? Yeah, she's getting her drinks, and we do clean out their water every day. It just gets dirty really fast because of all the mud and the rain. Alright, so I had to look for a minute for this lady. I noticed that I didn't see her with the others, so I found her laying an egg. This is Eglantine. So she is also named after the Guardians of Ga'Hoole franchise characters, because she also sort of looked like a little black owl when she's sleeping, and she does look very similar to Lenore since they are sisters, except Eglantine, as you can see, is more of a gray color, almost a blue. She has these lovely brown eyes. Okay, so very lastly, we have this boy right here, and he's not wanting to really get in the camera too well, so I'll just kind of zoom in on him. Now, he is kind of special to me in some ways because if you did not watch my video, that is why haven't I been uploading my videos. I've been making them for 12 years. You can go ahead and watch it. In there, I mention my rooster named Crowboy. So Crowboy is 9. Okay, he is 9 years old, and I started to get kind of sad because I thought, man, you know, Crowboy doesn't have any offspring, he doesn't have any youngins here, so I really was wishing that he could have a son or a daughter, and so I had him in with the dinosaur in their own little pen over the winter, and I thought, you know what, nothing's probably gonna happen, you know, I doubt it's gonna work out, but believe it or not, sure enough, it did. So his name is Crowellis. At first, if he was a hen, I was gonna name him Crowella, but then I found out that he ended up being a rooster, so Crowellis is his name. And he is kind of silly. He hangs out with Rex a lot. Rex sort of takes care of him like a hen, so he's sort of my hen of the rooster flock. But he is a good boy. He's really sweet once you get to hold him, but he is kind of shy. He'll run away from you. But if you do get to catch him and hold him, he is super sweet. He calms down and he will let you just pet him and spend your time with him, so he's a good boy. Also, Crowellis is the same age as Rosita and her sister Fretta. Okay, so as I mentioned Crowboy earlier, you notice I did not introduce you to him out here. That is because he is actually out front in his own little area, because this is the backyard. And so Crowboy is in with a Dominique actually, and I'll explain all of that when we go to give them their dinner. So go ahead and come on in with me. So this is our sweet little Tiwi, Tina. She's a very, very sweet girl. And I know she's an overweight little kitty, but we do have her on a really good diet and she doesn't eat that much. It's just how she is. Isn't that right, baby girl? Yeah, she's super sweet. She loves cuddles and everything like that. And she's next to my Bible in this Bible case. She's a sweet girl. Okay, so here are my 2 angels out here. Go ahead and give them some of their dinner. These little things in here, these are called Quack Snacks. There's another brand of treat that's similar, and it's called Cackleberries, that's the name. But anyway, these are little protein treats basically, and they are good for my angel crow boy since he is older and he could use all that extra protein. So this is my little Dominique, and fun fact, she is actually my unnamed Dominique. But the reason why she is over here with Crow Boy is because she was getting bullied a lot, so she stays over with Crow Boy now and he protects her. And also, I've never had anyone not named before, so she is very special. But yes, this is my Crow Boy. He is my special guy. He loves to lay in my lap and he loves all of his cuddles. And he is just my baby angel. So Crow Boy is my best friend, aren't you, buddy? That's my boy. Hey, so editing me, popping in here really quickly because I just realized since I was kind of in a hurry because I had somewhere to be, which I'm sorry, it spaced me to explain why Crow Boy is out front with the Dominique. I know I explained why she was out front, but I did not explain why Crow Boy is out front. So we joke that he is semi-retired, because he still takes care of the Dominique. And he's such a good boy, but he is out front because every winter when it gets like really cold, I would bring him in the garage in that little box and he would stay in the garage till it was warm enough to go back out with the flock. However, that was always fine, never had an issue, but one winter, it was the winter February of 2022, there was another rooster out there. Rex had a brother. We don't have him anymore, but Rex's brother was out there, and so when I introduced Crow Boy back into the flock after it had warmed up some, Crow Boy got attacked really badly by Rex's brother, and it was really bad. I was very upset, but he is my tough cookie, and praise the Lord, we nursed him back and he made it through, but now he just stays up here with us and he is retired, so that is why he is up here with us again. Sorry that I was in too much of a hurry to explain that to you guys. Now for them when it gets super cold, or if it's like the weather's just real nasty, and then also at nighttime, I bring them in the garage in this little pet porter with wood chips that I clean out, and maybe one day we can have an adventure and you can watch me clean out their wood chips. It's not that exciting, but anyway, yep, so that's about it. I just wanted to give you a quick little introduction to my flock, and I'm actually gonna go with a couple of friends here in a moment, some friends from church, so I gotta get going, but I love you guys so much. Remember that more importantly, Jesus loves you so much, and you all have a very blessed day wherever and whoever you are.